Evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Grumpy Old Spurs. Three of us tonight. We're one short, but don't worry. Keith Parker is in the house early doors. It's obviously too hot for him to go and walk his dog and turn up late, so no bollocking for Keith tonight. Let's introduce the panel. First up, as always, the OG original grumpy old man, Dave. How are you, mate?
Yes, good evening, everyone. That was a 2-minute silence in memory of the transfer window and in honour of the transfer window. So 2-minute silence. It's a solemn occasion. I've just woken up and at the moment, transfer window is like Christmas morning every day. So I wake up. So, guys, have we signed anyone?
Dave,
not yet.
We'll get to it, but if we're going to do that in future, shouldn't we make have a special poppy made or a special flower? Like a blue poppy or something like that to commemorate the transfer window. But and next guest is Football Heritage's own Connor, aka Levy Nomics. Connor, how are you this evening, pal?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very, very hot. We've got another little mini heat wave here, Dave, in the UK. So yes, it's very hot.
Yeah. Apparently, it's warmer than Bali.
I don't know.
It's 30 degrees it was today.
It's 8 degrees here at the moment, and I've got my pajamas on.
Oh, have you?
Mm.
And a coffee in hand, Dave?
Of course.
So, Dave, let me just check in the private chat. You haven't put in the schedule for tonight's show, so no. I'm probably just going to have to go off the cuff or look back through the WhatsApp group. But
I'll just hit the first slide.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's do that. Hang on. Let's welcome everybody to the chat. All get involved. Let's all hear your opinions. I think the first topic we'll be talking about will last the sum of about 30 seconds, and then we'll get into the meat of it. But Dave, let's get that first slide up, and our first topic is...
Well, just getting to the meat of it, apparently jacked off to Everton about a possibility. If that's what you want to do at home, that's up to you. Sorry. Anyway, so
That's what this show's all about.
That's all about. So, so the first topic of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is, and we're going to dissect this a lot because all of us watch this game intensely, is the Bayern Munich friendly. So Gibbo, Gibbo.
Dave, there was about as much chance of me watching that game as there was of me finishing the Tottenham 90s book, mate. I don't watch. These friendlies are just a waste of time watching. Paying for them to watch. They're just crap, aren't they? So I didn't expect a lot. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch it. My son watched a bit of it and he just was like, weren't very good, Dad. So I was like, yeah, friendly. Move on. It all starts tomorrow night, mate. It all starts tomorrow night for me. Connor, you must have watched it, mate, or some of it, or
I saw the goals and some of the highlights. Richarlison's miss, which was pretty special.
Did you not do a watch along with Last Word on Tottenham?
I didn't. Wasn't invited for any watch alongs.
Oh.
But no, I saw the goals. I think, and saw the stats, etc. Afterwards, it was very one-sided, as I think everyone knows. But I think it's. No, I didn't expect much from the game. I do like that we that Daniel has negotiated these friendlies in with Bayern as part of the Kane deal. It's like the extra salt in the wounds of losing Harry Kane, watching us have to play Bayern Munich every year in a pre-season friendly.
Well, we've got a special relationship with them, probably, haven't we?
That's it. It's that. Yeah, we take the players they don't want, give them our best player, and then they hammer us in friendlies. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
How many friendlies have we had with them now?
3, I think. Is that the 3rd? We had a double header last year, didn't we?
They beat us 3-2 last year, didn't they, under Ange?
Didn't we play them home and away, Connor, last year?
We might have done. Yeah, we might have done. I can definitely remember the 3-2 one, which was at our ground. But yeah, I mean, the other thing I think, to be fair, with the pre-season is, we've played some pretty good teams in pre-season. Once you run up, you've gone obviously Arsenal, Newcastle, Bayern Munich, and then there's going to be PSG in the Super Cup final. It's not an easy sort of start, so it'll be interesting to see what that means for how we're prepared. But the only thing that is quite interesting about those games is in not all of those games we're not really going to dominate possession, and then
or
suddenly
score a
we've
lot
got to
of
work out
goals.
how to unlock a Burnley low block in the first Premier League game of the season. It's not necessarily the best prep.
Yeah, I don't know what you think, Dave, but years ago when we used to play like Leyton Orient, Portsmouth, and go to lower league teams, you'd be up against teams that were like sort of up for it, and they'd want to beat you, and like even the teams like the Premier League teams or First Division teams, whatever we were there back then, it was sort of like they were going at it, and the games were meaningful, and they get the minutes and they get all the other bits as well. Whereas now. These friendlies that they go and play in all over the world,
like Luton,
apart from just obviously after then, but those, you know what I mean, those like flagship friendlies where we play good teams. Like, what does anybody get out of them?
Money, branding.
I stand corrected. They are worthwhile.
And also, and just to point out, everybody, that I think Donna Cullen is doing the 3-month handover, which also involves going to Hong Kong with the club. So it's very important that she hands over to Vinay how to get on a plane and turn left and sit in business class. Very important.
But yeah, I mean, Dave, did you watch any of it, or are you the same as me? Not really bothered, move on.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I saw the goals on Instagram and laughed at our defending, and Richarlison's miss. That was a good one. But no, I didn't really watch it. I mean, I watched the Newcastle games and the Arsenal games because they're on because obviously they're in Asia. The time zone for us was good, so I watched that, and obviously did the watch along on the Arsenal game with HG. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are missing 1.5, 2 hours of your life, and you need to fill it, you can watch the HG and me watching the game live during it, and watch one of the worst instant reaction celebrations of a goal of all time. So that's that one. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're going to get on to what our squad looks like at the moment. But, you know, from the sounds of things, not very good going forward. And obviously they scored 4. But, you know, Paulinho hadn't played for a while, has he?
No. I think I heard he looked particularly poor, to be fair. But I think the other thing is like, you know, it doesn't necessarily help that we're flying all around the world, I don't think, and then flying to Germany for that game. We in the bits that I did watch, and there seemed to be a real lack of any sort of urgency in sort of pressing down shots. They're shooting from outside the box over and over again, which was the complete opposite actually of the Arsenal game. Of the bits I watched of that where we were on the whole time. So yeah, I think as Gibbo says, I don't know how much you can really read into pre-season, but
did Basuma
we
play?
need signings.
Did Basuma play?
He did, didn't he, in that one?
Or did he show a lack of urgency to get to the ball and was late the whole time?
Yeah, he was late to the ball a lot. Yeah,
he was late. They rewarded the corner. He was late to take it.
Just the thing, though, mate. We can talk about Basuma quickly in a sec, but this is what I'm about the Spurs transfer policy. For me, yes. Paulina wasn't a data-driven transfer like some people used to say. We've got this data-driven, but look, he is what he is. We all know what he is. You don't need to go through the numbers to realise what Paulina is, but that's a guy that we probably could have got 3 or 4 weeks before, got him up and running, fit with the squad, playing in those games. And that's what I've always said. When we wait to make signings, integrate them with the team. If you're going to get players like that, they need to get their fitness up, don't you? You know they haven't played a lot of games, and then you get dropped into Bayern Munich away. And you get mugged off.
Yeah, but he was probably packing up his house. So he thought he'd go out the road and play the game and then come back with the boys. Makes sense.
Yeah, probably.
Just to let you know, Gib, I'll put in the private chat the running order.
Oh, don't worry, mate. I think I found it on the phone, so we'll be all right now, mate. But next week, don't want you on one.
This is a seamless show that we put together.
Yeah, don't want you on strike one like
professional as ever.
Yeah.
So, should we have a quick
that's
chat
fine.
about Basuma? Should we have a quick chat about Basuma?
Do you not want to go to the smorgasbord?
Let's go to the smorgasbord.
Do you want to
Come
go
on.
smorgasbord? Connor,
He's
do you
done
want to
another
go?
smorgasbord. Let's have it up.
Do you
Always.
Connor? Do you get did Sava put on a smorgasbord when you went on this week?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I know.
He will after this. If he watches this, he will.
He will after this. Here we go. Now, I've got to be honest with you, guys, and the lovely audience at home. I went into a period of reflection after last week. I thought there was too many smorgasbords last week, so I've just focused on one smorgasbord.
One good one.
I think it's a good one, but you tell me. And I've kind of deliberately done the graphics to show a bit more of the smorgasbord and to the players as well. But always happy to hear your feedback, guys. So let's turn to the exciting. This is the exciting part of the smorgasbord and the exciting part of the transfer window because we're near the end and we finally decide we might buy some players. So Savinho, I've described him as the backup to the backup. Am I being unfair? Connor, are you excited about Savinho?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
thought
he
you were a little
coming?
harsh, to be fair. You were being very grumpy in grumpy old Spurs fashion, I think. But perhaps it's also that I'm at that stage where, I'd accept Man City's tea lady playing on the left wing probably. So but yeah, look, I think with Savinho, I think he had a decent first season for City. In the league, got 8 assists. I know he only got 1 goal, but he was playing mostly out of position. I think under Saint Pep, who gets nothing wrong. I think he's more of a
Never.
natural left winger rather than a right winger. When he was at Girona, he
Like
got
Pep,
9
really.
goal contributions.
Pep's a natural left winger, isn't he? So,
but yeah,
go on. Sorry.
no, I was just going to say. So look, I think it'll be a good signing. I think by all accounts, when you see the City fans' reactions on Twitter or whatever, they're very upset about it actually, which I think is often a good sign. So, but I think it's one of them where he probably wants guaranteed first team football, and as you said, they've got a lot of options. So it's a World Cup year. Perhaps he's thinking I'll go to the mighty Tottenham and play every week and break into that Brazil squad again. So we'll see.
Well, it's interesting you say that because my mate Dave, who's a big Brighton fan, was very upset when we got Basuma. There's a lot of very
I
upset
thought it was a
Brighton
good
fans.
signing at the time.
I thought we'll get to we're going to be late, but we will get to him in the show. but we'll be late to do that. Gibbo is the man from Man City? Is he coming? Is it a reality, Gibbo? Give us what you think.
My opinion on him as a player is I've not seen loads of him. I don't know what side he's best on, but I'm pretty sure that he will improve our attack. That's the first thing I can say from the little bits I've seen of him playing for Man City last year. Now, I've got a friend who's a big Man City fan, goes to watch them, supported them for years, doesn't get involved in the razzmatazz and all that type of thing. When people were desperate for him to win the Champions League, he was like, yeah, I do want to win it, but first and foremost, I want to win the league and the FA Cup. They're our bread and butter. That's important to me. So he's a little bit sort of older fashioned, probably a little bit like me and you, Dave. But
hang on, has he got an Oasis t-shirt?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't, mate. He'd have a Jam t-shirt on, or like or something like that. He's back in them. He's probably a little bit older than you, Dave. So, but anyway, I spoke to him, and his words to me were, he went, "Yeah, he's all right, mate." He said, "But it's potential." And I went, and I said, "He's probably on about 40 grand a week, and he as well." And he was like, "I don't know what he's on, mate." He said, "But look, he's a good player. He's got good potential, but it's obviously about it coming through." And I'm like, Connery probably wants to play more. He should be getting in that Spurs. If we get him, he should be getting in that Spurs front three. But will we get him with Savinho and the other guy? I was talking to my lad earlier, and I just think now it's been one too many bids for Aguero, Dzeko, and Negredo just before Berbatov walks out the door. One too many 70 million bids for Gueye right at the end of the transfer window. Dybala, all this. It's just so Mate, I've got no faith that they will get it over the line. Because going in at 50, they want more than, what were they saying this morning? They want more than 50 million. I should imagine they do. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. But will he be a good addition? Yes, he will make us stronger. Am I convinced we'll get him? Absolutely not. You?
I think. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is that there's a march being organised on Saturday, change for Tottenham, which we'll talk about in a bit. But it can be no surprise that all of a sudden that we're in for the smorgasbord. Although the smorgasbord is smaller this week, the quality of the smorgasbord is a lot better.
Yeah.
Right. And so is a surprise that the smorgasbord has improved this week whilst the march is going to happen. I'm hoping at the march on the weekend there's a giant smorgasbord paraded down the high road. What do you think?
GOS,
grumpy old Spurs every chanting.
Yeah. But just
I'll take one, Dave. I'll get one printed out.
Can you get a use this one? Maybe we should have our grumpy old Spurs branded transfer smorgasbord. What a great idea that is. Anyway, so do I think we'll get him? Oh, well, I mean, the comment you made, Gibbo, is he'll be improvement on what we've got going forward. We are going to talk about the squads that we've got later, so it's not difficult to do that. I mean, obviously, I've done my research on this, looked at a few clips on YouTube and went, "Oh, he looks good. He can beat a man and get a cross in." Funny that. So I'd like us to get him because God knows we need to get bodies in and who will improve the first team. So let's see. So, if during the course of the show, David Ornstein gives another update, make sure that you update the smorgasbord with the news. Let's move on.
Quickly, Dave, we have got a tradition of bringing in Brazilian players to Tottenham that shine. Richarlison.
Paulinho.
Gilberto.
Paulinho.
Yeah, Gilberto.
Who else do we have? Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura weren't terrible.
He's probably the best.
Emerson Royal,
yeah.
My
so
brother
as long as he's in that mold.
My brother called Lucas Moura the Brazilian Paul Walsh. Gibbo, what do you think about that?
I think Paul Walsh was probably better
than my brother or Lucas Moura.
Both.
You are missing Sandro.
Oh, Sandro.
Yes.
To be fair, Sandro was better than we probably thought he would be, wasn't he? Top bloke, Sandro. I've met him.
Yeah, he's always involved, isn't he? He's always around the club still.
Good guy.
I had a bet with my brother that Sandro wouldn't play more than 50 games for Tottenham.
Yeah.
And I obviously proved to be very wrong and had to pay said brother. He was getting a lot of airtime tonight.
Remember Rodrigo Defendi? Didn't we sign a young promising defender, Rodrigo Defendi?
That was one of Frank Arneson's great buys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was that Arneson summer with Santini, the first home game, the 04-05 season.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in Australia and I didn't know who half the team was. Honestly. I was like, who's this?
Sean Davis? Is that when we bought Sean Davis? I had a season ticket then. I'm used to remember everything, but nowadays I just cannot. Years and players. Just
Phil Eiffel, Noureddin Naibet.
Naibet was decent, just too old.
Yeah, Pamaro, remember him?
Yeah, no Pamaro.
Yeah,
Mendes. Yeah, I like Mendes. I was upset.
Yeah, Mendes was decent. Yeah.
I was very upset we sold him and we bought in the text messaging Jermaine Genius instead. But there we go. With the smorgasbord. We got to move on with the smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Eze.
Go on, Connor. You go first.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one we've all been crying out for. Well, not only this window, but several.
We should have bought him from QPR anyway. But carry on.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think he's the one everyone wants, right, for that 10 position, which we desperately need. And to the earlier, and I know we're going to come on to the squad, but it completely revolutionises our attack. I think if you suddenly got Savinho and Eze there with Kudus behind the striker, which still probably needs a bit of work, but those three behind is completely night and day compared to the options we've got there right now. So praying it happens, but there is that lot from Woolwich are sniffing around still, and I'm worried that they are going to come back in. And is this, agents just trying to accelerate them coming back in? Who knows? So, but this is why, Daniel Levy needs to not fuck around. And he needs to. We know what the deal is, right? We know it's 68 million. We know what the release clause was, even if the release clause has expired. Some people are saying it is, some aren't. We know what sort of money they want for him. We need to just get it done before you let Woolwich come back into the fold. Because apparently the player's keen, right?
Yeah, like we were having this conversation, weren't we, Connor? It's like, I think I said to Connor, I think it was Jason Wilcox, you said you would never put a bid in for a player from a club unless you knew that said player was willing to come. So by the sounds of it, that work's been done. This is, between intermediaries in what they call, Dave. Come on, I can't speak properly.
Agents.
Yeah. Look, would he come? Yeah, he'd come if they agreed a deal. This is what he'd want, blah, 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 blah. And then people at Tottenham, unless they are stupid, know what his release clause is. They know what his release clause is. They know what Palace and Parish would be like to deal with. So why would you waste your time doing all that legwork with Eze if you are not prepared to turn around and stump up the money they need? Hit the release clause. How do we pay it? Let's get it done. We need him in. Someone's going to come in for him. Bosh, let's get it done. So for me, if it doesn't get, if we do the legwork, then Arsenal come in, whether people like it or not, he's probably always going to go there if everything's offered the same. But for me, you just get on with it, don't you? You just get it done as quick as you can. Even, if all that's been done, and then you see people saying within the week, Tottenham are going to put the actual bid in. Why do we have to wait? What are they waiting for? I don't get what they're waiting for. And I really want Eze in one of our groups. That not everyone else is convinced. I've liked Eze for a long time. I think he's a great footballer. I think he can carry the ball. There were people talking about him not being able to pass. He's one of these guys that sort of brings the ball forward, beats a man, and then he can lay through the channels, which I think will obviously help Solanke be a bit more like what, but be a bit more like what he had at when he was at Bournemouth. And I think I think both of them would, with Kudos, obviously your attack changes completely the way they can beat men. But yeah, Eze for me, if the deal's there to be done, you've got to get it done. But once again, I just worry we'll do all the legwork, faff about. Arsenal, even Chelsea, you could see come in. We know what it is now. Spurs have done all that. Here you go, bosh, we're away.
Yeah, but that's my fear. Actually, I just thought of something. Maybe we shouldn't worry because Coy's Daniel told Gary Neville during the overlap interview that this is the stage he gets involved. So there's no doubt the deal's going to get over the line, right?
Coy's Daniel. He was. Is that the bit after? Is that a bit after he talked about his favourite steel girder he put into the stadium? That bit.
What do you think?
It was just before the art gallery, Dave.
The art gallery, the Tottenham Louvre, I believe.
Dave, what do you think to Eze? Because
I've been on the Eze train. I've been on the Eze train since QPR. I'm not joking. He looked good at QPR. This is the time to get it. Like Danny Dyer's son-in-law, we should have got him from Hull before he became Danny. Before he became Danny Dyer, we'd have stopped him from marrying Danny Dyer's daughter if we'd have bought him, and he could have married Chaz's or Dave's daughter instead. Right? That's what's happened here. Right? We could have changed history. It's like Back to the Future. I want Eze, and I hope you guys appreciate the fact that I've changed up the smorgasbord this week with Eze's picture having a number 10 on his tracksuit top to emphasise the fact that he is a number 10. I want Eze. Someone's talking about his resale value. Oh, we won't like it. Who cares? I don't care about resale values. I want someone who's at the peak of their career.
When did people start talking like this, Dave? When my late father said to me, "We've bought Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky V," and I turned around and gazed up from the sandpit, and I said, "Oh, I'm just building a steel girder like the future Tottenham Stadium, Dad. But what about the resale value?" Exactly. When did we start talking about this nonsense?
When he put me out. That's when he put me out on the street.
You know, when did it stop being like the main issue to make your team better?
Where's
You know,
the romance, Gibbo?
Oh no, mate, it's just fucking madness. But I mean, more importantly, we've got to say we got 2 big deals like in the offing, apparently. Data driven, obviously.
Yeah,
Data
sorry.
driven by Johan in the gang, not called Johan. Yeah, right. So, right, are we going to get one, both, or none? Connor, over to you.
I want to be positive, but I think it's none, isn't it?
Oh my God. What did your mate Sava think?
I don't know. He was very excited about the prospect, but I think he's still very sceptical. It happens. He continues to repeat that we need to finally act like a big club and get these sort of deals done. But which I think we all agree.
I thought Sava loved Tottenham. Obviously loves Tottenham. I thought Sava loved Levy. Doesn't he love Levy?
No, he is Levy out, but not quite as Levy out as we
are. So sorry, we've got to. It's very important to us, Gibbo, the feedback from our fans. And, apparently we need a bigger 10 for the elderly eyes. There we go. Thanks for the feedback. And I just want to do a big shout out here.
Dave O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, because WA is 2 hours behind. So he's watching us about 3:30 in the morning.
Well, this
is the reach we've got these days, isn't it? This is it. Pay-per-view type stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a watch along.
Yeah, he's one of the 27 that's like bothered to turn their laptops on, Dave.
Bothered.
Get onto YouTube. Yeah. He's either that or he's got an incredible bout of insomnia. He needs to get
but if he does, I feel sorry. Well, listening to my monotone, you'll be off and sharpish. He's not on the smorgasbord, but are we upset that Jack Grealish went to Everton and not to Tottenham? Connor?
I am. Oh, go on, Connor. Go on.
I didn't mind the deal with Maddison getting injured if we protect, but I prefer these two that are on the smorgasbord. These are the sausage rolls and cocktail sausages for me.
Absolutely.
My two favourite. Don't think they normally go on smorgasbords, but they go on buffets. So yeah, I prefer these two deals. But I think that's a good deal for Everton. I think Everton have done some half decent stuff this summer. I think they'll be fine next year with Moyes as well. And I
new
think
stadium.
And this is what happens when you get new owners, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would have. Obviously, I'd take these two over Grealish, but before this come up, I thought he can play on the left, play in the middle, something to prove. Is he the Grealish of old? I don't know, but if you're getting him on loan and you're not paying all his wages, you know what? I thought it would have been a decent deal for us. But yeah, he'll improve them. Another team that's improving, and until today, you're looking at it first of all thinking we're not. I don't think we're improving. The gap from the teams that are higher than us are sort of getting bigger, and we're not making moves. Some of the lower teams are getting players in. I say lower. I mean, we were 17th last year, weren't we? So some of the teams around us are getting in other players. But yeah, I think Grealish is a decent player. I don't know. What do you think, Dave? Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole, or would you have had him in?
Well, you just made a very interesting comment because you said you'd have got him in as long as we don't pay all of his wages. And then you turn around 5 minutes ago and start slagging off people talking about resale values. You sound like it's like Daniel Levy's in the room. Well, as long as we don't pay all his wages, I'll get him in.
It's the Stockholm syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. Right. You can't turn around and bemoan the lack of
good for the goose.
Yeah, you start going on about razzmatazz and the romance of it all, and then you turn around and go, "Oh well, as long as we don't pay all his wages, I'll be happy." You've been Levy-fied.
You've been leaving.
You've been Levy. You're an Levy enabler, aren't you?
Anyway, what do you think to Grealish? Come on, Dave.
I would have I'd have taken Grealish at the start of the window, and I'm not being funny, as some kind of job swap with Maddison because Maddison's injury prone, and I'd have just had. It's a bit like when we had Darren Anderson and Jamie Redknapp taking turns on the treatment table in the early noughties, right?
Yeah.
So I genuinely would have had Grealish in as a kind of good backup to Maddison and swap him out, and put him in. And his most productive year really was at Villa in the number 10 role, where it was kind of a free role. So I could have seen that working well, and with Frank, because we all know Frank is good at working with a player and improving them, and he had something to prove. So I would have liked to have got him in along with Eze, along with acting like a big club. But we're going to move on in a second.
I just want one more opinion off you two guys. Do you think, obviously, mate, there's protests going on, and do you think that if these two deals don't come off and we get the old Ali goal come out, it was a difficult deal to do. It was always going to be tough, blah, 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 blah. They tried all that nonsense and it doesn't come off. Do you think that will just be 1/2 deals too far for the fan base? Do you think that it will, you know what I mean, at the game? I know there's talk of a protest or whatever, which you guys will know more about. But do you think it will literally then, especially if we get beat, I'd said to Connor, not if we get hammered, let's just say if we get comfortably, easily beaten tomorrow and then the deals fall flat on their ass. Do you think that will, do you think that, I say the straw that breaks the camel's back, there's not a lot you can do, but do you think it will then even intensify more? The sort of...
Well, that's a nice segue.
I think with the protest and that is, these deals will go either one or two ways, won't they, in terms of that, if we find out before Saturday. The problem is the fan. I mean, you're still seeing it now. You only got to scroll through Twitter. Everyone is so excited again, aren't they? And the players are not over the line, and they're far from over the line still, right? So,
yeah,
you would think it would be the straw that broke the camel's back, but the camel had its back firmly broken some time ago, you would think, given how many disappointments we've had, and we do continuously find new ways of disappointing. We're the only one that's had a deal fall through due to image rights, I think, to the scale of the Dybala one. We had the Gibbs White one this season, so it'd be interesting to see how these two fall through at least.
Martinho was the third-party rights hitherto discovered until the last hour of the transfer window, which of course they wouldn't show that still. They show that same due diligence when buying a steel girder for the stadium. Let's not forget Charlie Adam, because they couldn't find the director to sign the piece of paper.
Can you remember, Dave? I don't know if you're a bit too young for this, Connor. At one point, I can't remember what year it was, but we agreed a fee with Wimbledon to sign John Hartson. We were desperate for a striker at the time. Can you remember that, Dave?
Did we? I don't remember that. Go
on. I reckon it was about 7 million. And I was told that it was all signed and sealed. And then there was, signed that, the fee had been agreed, blah, 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 blah. And then nobody turned up nobody turned up to sort of push the deal through or whatever. It was just sort of they've accepted this bid. And
what does that mean? What do you mean Sugar didn't turn up? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think it was. Might have been early Levy days.
No,
I think it was early Levy. But anyway, I was told that a fee had been agreed for Hartson, and then it was oh shit, nobody. You know what I mean? And then it was just look, what's going on here? Nothing. We'll just carry on as normal, and it just all went away.
Well, I think it's a question of.
I've just found it. I was, this is. George Graham was manager at the time, and Hartson's agent at the time was Barnett, the guy who's just been done for human trafficking, Gareth Bowles.
Accused, I'd just like to point out to our lawyers. Accused.
Sorry, accused. He was the agent at the time. So what year would this have been? It doesn't have
99.
But anyway, it was 7 million. So good memory, Gibbo.
Yeah. I can remember signing him. I can remember going to after we'd been at a few games, we were desperate for a striker, and at the time, I wasn't overly pleased that it was Hartson, but it was someone who was scoring a few goals and was a bit of a presence, and it just sort of petered out. Nothing happened.
Hang on, you're saying that we were desperate for a striker at that time, and now we are desperate for a striker.
Striker, 10, left winger.
So really, it's a question of, I just want to sing a little song here. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Levy, if you think the transfer window is won? So there we go. This is it. Who do you think you're kidding, Mr. Levy? Let's look at let's look at the squad that we
Here we
currently
go.
have. We've submitted this to UEFA for the Super Cup. This is our squad. So
Yep.
this is the squad we've got for the season. And I would like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, and to the two of you, that someone who's in that squad at the moment is Yves Bissouma.
Yeah.
Gibbo, you're a stickler for punctuality. We always start the show on time. How do you think you would go if Yves Bissouma was a guest on this show?
Well, obviously, we've got the verbal written, written warning, all that nonsense. So we take him through the procedures, which I assume Thomas Frank has, and it's just got to the point where he's now being punished for his misdemeanors.
It's like Keith Parker can reform himself to be on the show on time.
Why
but
can't Yves Bissouma?
Yeah, I mean, I did see a funny tweet because there's this other podcast I do sometimes called Last Word on Spurs. I don't know if you guys have
Last Word on
Never
what?
heard.
And
Last
Word
on who?
on Spurs. Yeah. Is informally known by their fans as Late Word on Spurs because Ricky Sachs is always late, and they said that Bassouma's maybe going to replace him. But yeah, just wanted to plug Last Word on Spurs there because it's a little unknown one.
Are you going to meet him? Are you going to meet him in Beavertown on Saturday, Connor?
No, I'm not. But
look at you with your little in jokes of your mates. Last Word on Spurs, eh? Hey?
I'll be too busy to be at Beavertown holding a placard of a grumpy old Spurs smorgasbord with Enoch out written across it.
Nice work, man. Gibbo, you going to the game on? You're going to the game Saturday, aren't you?
Mate, I haven't got a ticket. I had a ticket, and then my wife's face told me a different story that I could have the ticket, so I let somebody else have it. And then I think it was Monday night. I said me and my lad were talking, and I sort of in a throwaway comment, I said, I think it's when the Savinho bid had come out and nothing else had happened, and I said, if they sign him and if they sign someone like Eze, mate, I'll get you a ticket and I'll take you. Literally, no word of a lie. The Eze stuff comes up, and I'm like, oh God. And he's like, Dad, are we going? Are we going? So
you can't ruin that young boy's dreams.
No,
right?
I'll see what I can do, and I might go. I might try and get 2 tickets if they sign them. If I can get out of jail free card and they don't sign them, I won't. I'll watch it at home, and I'll probably take him to the Wolves game if I can, if it stays on a Sunday.
And does your missus prefer Connor on Last Word on Spurs?
Yes, it's better show. She says, she's just. Of course, he's better. He's with better players.
I got a mate of mine. He turns around and says he watches Alvin and the Chipmunks on We Are Tottenham TV. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I said, imagine. Right? I was an international singer like Adele, and I'm mates with my mate, and he turns around and says, "I know, I prefer Mariah Carey." It's a bit upsetting, isn't it? Don't you reckon?
That is disappointing, mate. Yeah,
it is. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's very disappointing. Right, anyway, let's go back to this squad. Right, so Connor, this is what we've got at the moment. Are you feeling happy about what we've got?
Well, PSG are shitting themselves, I think.
No, but I mean for the season. This is for PSG and the season. So look at it from a PSG and the season point of view.
I mean, just quickly on PSG, there's a couple of little bits. I mean, Donnarumma has just put out a statement tonight about how he's leaving them. So he's not in their squad, as you probably know, but he's leaving them. And Luis Enrique, there's a nice quote from him where he says he spoke to Tottenham about the Tottenham job before he took the PSG job, how that might have led to different fortunes. We may not have won the Europa, though, with Enrique. I think we probably would have. But anyway, but yeah, in terms of the squad, I think, look, I mean, we desperately need those two we just spoke about. And I still think we need another fullback cover. The fact that Ben Davies is still knocking about is slightly worrying.
And the fact that we're going to be relying on Richarlison.
Well, that would, for me, I think if we got Savinho and Eze over the line, I was saying to my dad earlier, I take some points off the window because of the timing, because they haven't had a pre-season and you want to sign players earlier. We've been shit at selling, so that is a bit of a negative. We haven't replaced Richarlison. We haven't got that extra fullback cover. But I'd still probably give it an 8 because I think it's probably our best window for some time in terms of starting 11 improvements.
Yeah.
Hang on. That's an 8 based on 2 players we haven't got over the line.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the moment, it's like a 3 or a 4 for me. If we got those 2 over it, it gets to an 8. But yeah,
which is rough on Kudus and Paulina because they are good additions to the first team, aren't they? But obviously,
and the Japanese fella. Don't forget the Japanese fella.
Yeah,
he's not listed here because he's injured, which is very Tottenham.
But I'm with you. It's always late, isn't it? It's always. I mean, I look at that squad and I think it's bland. Is what I think when I look at it. Like I think, obviously, Romero, I think is a great player. I think the keeper's okay, but I think the back 4 is decent. If it's got like some decent players in front of them, I think that is a decent. I think that's a good back 4. I look at Paulina. I think ultimately he will be a good player. Needs to get fit. Needs to get in the swing of things. Basuma isn't long for Spurs now, is he? After that, Archie Gray, still not sure. Still needs games.
Not ready yet.
More game time. Just not. Yeah. Bentancur, if we can get the Bentancur we had before the big injuries, he's got a pre-season under his belt this season. We got a decent player there. Bergvall and Sarr.
Don't forget to call him Lolo, please.
No, thank you. Bergvall and Sarr, I think, are decent young players. Great squad players and good rotation options. Then I look at the front. Kudus, I think is a game changer. I think he's a really, really good player. Brennan Johnson, you know my thoughts on it. Yeah, top goal scorer last season, but apart from that, which sounds ridiculous, but offers very little.
Apart from the fact that he scores goals.
Yeah, but we're talking about making the team better, aren't we, Dave? The team.
Some of the parts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's rubbish. Odebear and Tau, the same. Same as like Bergvall and Sarr. But I think those two, Bergvall and Sarr, I'd probably think of sort of a little bit in front of Talent and Odebear. Yeah. Then I look at the front 2. Richarlison, I'm just not having because you can't. I just don't think you can trust him to stay fit and be available. And that's what if he's available and fit all season, he's a decent backup. And I really like Solanke. I just don't know if he's going to score enough goals. I think he spends too much time elsewhere. I mean, that might change under a new coach. I think ultimately, even if we get these signings in this year, what we need, I think next summer we'll be looking at a decent, a proven centre forward who's going to cost a little bit, who we're going to have to pay for if we're going in the direction we want to. But yeah, it needs improving. It's madness, isn't it, that we won including, I know we've got injuries in that, but it's madness to think we won the Europa League. We finished 17th and we're looking to push on, and arguably our squad is worse at this very minute, even though Sonny was at this very minute, our squad is even worse than the squad that finished 17th. With no real belief, and none of us in here, even though we're talking about these players, with no real belief from quite a few people that we are going to seriously improve it before the season starts. I think that is atrocious.
I mean, for me, the big miss out of this is Timo Werner not coming back for the 3rd time, right?
Yeah.
Because I think
there's still time. There's still time.
There's still time for Werner, the trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Look at
the 3rd
this.
season's better than the 2nd, yeah?
Yeah. Can I give you a transfer update, guys, from Ben Jacobs? And I don't even really trust Ben Jacobs. I think he talks a load of old pony.
Professionally, just to be clear.
He's one of your mates from your show, Con. Ben Jacobs gets on Last Word on Spurs quite often, doesn't he?
I've not been on with him yet.
No?
I've not been on with him yet.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Connor.
THFC are prepared to do a 60 million deal right now to sign Eberici Eze
right now.
and want to move fast. Spurs have approached Crystal Palace to understand the terms of the winger's release clause. let me just add to that. The release clause is 68 million. So the fact we are prepared to do a deal for 60 million, but we're asking them what are the terms of the release clause? Well, they're 68 million, Daniel. So if you want him, 68
Well,
million
I
is
mean, I
what
was
it is.
just about to say, what more have they got to ask at this stage? Do you know what I mean? Like, surely we know what the terms of given we've apparently been speaking to Eze last summer as well.
I
This
think
summer,
if
you
you
know,
were deaf, dumb, and blind, I think you'd know what the terms. But mate, it's the same old thing. But yeah, you look working on it. But yeah, anyway, sorry, Dave. The squad definitely needs upgrading. What are you thinking? Because I know you'll have opinions.
Yeah, so the squad, I think look, if we get our notes out from the transfer committee, we said so. Vicario, well, I don't rate Vicario, and you might see Kinski taking over during the season. I'm very happy with the back. I do like Danso actually, but Ben Davis as a left back and Ben Davis as captain is a bit worrying all around. And then there's obviously a question of Van der Ven and Romero staying fit. If our season's going nowhere, stand by for an end of season injury for Romero in March going into a World Cup. But that's just me being very cynical. You look at that midfield, and that is a wafer thin midfield, isn't
Bland.
it? But wafer thin. You've got Basuma. And the transfer, I think even Connor agreed that Basuma had to go. That was a unanimous decision at the transfer committee that Basuma had to go, late or otherwise. Okay. And I think that Archie Gray, I liked what he did actually against Newcastle, watching the friendly. I know you can't, but he did play well. And he was roughed up a bit as well. And I think he came through that really well. I think it's a big season for Matasar. I don't think he's been that great last season. And Bergvall, they're still young. So, at the end of the day, Bentancur's better in a double pivot, and he's not really a number 6. So we're just lacking so much.
It will help him this year, though, won't it? I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That squad, Dave. I don't know if that squad is jam packed full of stroke rotation players.
I know.
What it doesn't have is the all-star sort of like starting players that you want in the big games type thing. There's loads of players there. Actually. There's loads of players there that if they come in, if you've got a player injured or someone's a bit, if you bring one or two of them in when someone's injured or someone's like just a bit knackered or whatever, or you got so many games, there's players there that I'm sort of like, yeah, great, not a problem. But it's the star quality, the sort of like, getting you up the league, players that are going to do it in the big games. It's just not enough for them. Considering we were...
Yeah, but that's all it's well, go on, sorry, go.
So, yeah, I was just going to say, other than I agree with you on Vicario, I just don't think it's a priority for this summer because, I think that's something you see how Kinski gets on and they'll probably address it next summer. But the back four plus Danso and Spence, so Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie plus Spence and Danso is your sort of...
That's good.
That's good. And
that
I
is
think
good.
That's sort of, we're talking top 5, top 6.
We're talking Champions League winning.
But for me, I mean, I get your point on the midfielders. I think Paulinho helps. I think, but you've got a lot of 8s that are quite samey there. You obviously need to get at least 110, but hopefully that's Eze. But it's that forward lineup. I mean, other than Kudus, you wouldn't be bothered if any of them went, would you?
No.
There's no one. I think Solanke's all right, but he's not a world beater. He's better than Richarlison.
He works, doesn't he? He puts in a shift.
But Solanke surely, I mean, I know it's just Solanke surely will get better service this season by the fact that you will have someone who can stick a ball on his head, right?
Or we never made any chances for him, did we, Dave? Last season.
Well, the game where we made the most chances for him, he was sat on the bench for us at home, right? So Richarlison, I hold up my hands. I was excited when we bought him, but I'll hold up my hands and it's a mistake that I made. And I think Gibbo, it's a conversation that me and you had just after we joined when we both realised. I said to each other, "Hang on a minute, he's not a very good footballer, is he?" And you know what, Gibbo? If only we'd have stayed on the cheese room, we could have gone to the Supporters Trust, meet the podcasters night. You know, what a
You could
mistake
have.
we've made.
You could
Us,
have.
we could have been on that podium. You know,
Just a word on Polina though.
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Like, he's the type of guy. He's the type of guy that gives a platform to the guys that we don't have that we're saying we want to get in, isn't he? That's what he does. You know, it's no good having him in there and then, you know, giving it to Brennan Johnson to sort of like hold on to it and then pass it back to his fullback.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Kevin's made the comment about how many goals we've conceded in the last 2 seasons. You know, I think you have to look at how often that defence actually played together, and then also the Ange effect, without triggering any Ange fans in the chat. But you know, I think we will be a very different outfit under Frank, and particularly with Paulinho as well, who again is another lump who you know, outrageous amount of tackles and you know, a dual winning machine. So I don't actually have any concerns going back, really, particularly now.
No.
It's going that way because of the forward lineup. So if we sign, for argument's sake, Eze and Savinha, and you've got two and Kudus behind Solanke, we suddenly look a completely different outfit to this conversation we're having right now.
And also, what sort of like Kudos and Eze will give you is they can retain possession. And like Kulusevski, when he comes back, maybe not so much Savinho. I bet he's a little bit better at it than Johnson. But like Johnson tended to get the ball, didn't he? Can't beat his man, just passes it back, recycles the ball, gives it easy. But like those players can keep hold of the ball. They want to feel contact off players. They want to let the team get up the pitch and they can carry it up the pitch as well, 100%. Which is what we never had under Ange either. You know, we were leaving the back door open constantly, leaving people exposed. And then when it was coming up top and we couldn't hold it or couldn't keep the pressure away from the back four long enough. So
it's the Aussie way.
Yeah, with better players and better coaching, we will be able to do that. And I don't really sort of mind him saying, you know, we've got to get the defence right. We've got to be solid at the back to give the other guys a platform to play going forward. But we need those players. We need those players we want to give a platform to. And we haven't got them currently, and we desperately need them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit bored of saying that certain players are a good squad rotation, good coming off the bench. You know, that's your Tells, that's your Odebears, right? I'm just bored of it. I mean, Brennan, I think, could play as I mean, maybe he'll be used as a second striker in a Frank system. Do you know what I mean? Or a striker, because maybe that. And people say his best position is playing off the striker in the middle.
Mate, and he's the type of guy, if you're sort of like, if you've got loads of the ball and you're really putting it on a team and you just cannot get a goal and you need to nick a goal, ideal. Bring him on. If you're getting balls across the box and getting in those areas, but you just can't find a goal, that's what he's good at.
The thing with Johnson is he's almost in the wrong era. You know what I mean? If we were talking 10, 15 years ago in the days where you played 4-4-2, you know, and he was playing with someone who could actually not fall on the floor with a strong wind, who could hold the ball up a bit and he could run off them. You know, I think he'd be all right in that sort of big man. He's fairly tall actually, but you know, you get my point. That physical striker, and he's the one that runs off.
Crazy gang long ball. Is that what you mean?
But there might be a place for that, isn't there? There might be a place for that.
But I don't mind him. I don't mind him as a squad option. I don't, but he can't be the first team, and that's obviously why they brought in Kudus. So yeah, and all of those others, Dave, to your exact, they're just all average, aren't they?
And
that's the problem. We want players that get us off our seats.
And just on another note, like we're talking about the signings, Kudus was brought in. He wanted to play on the left. On the right. Couldn't play there for West Ham because that's where Bowen played. They played him number 10. So I do not want to hear, Kudus can play number 10 if these signings fall through. Kudus will play. No, we bought him to play right wing. That's where he wants to play.
Yeah.
So buy him and play him where he's meant to play and get the other players in the positions. We just don't want to hear all the old shit we've heard over the years, do we? We need better players.
Not on the show, you mean, doesn't?
Everywhere, mate. But like, we are playing Champions League football this season. We are playing a higher caliber of competition. We will not have any gimmies. You cannot get in the Champions League and then have a squad like that, what you put up, Dave. You cannot have a squad worse than the squad that finished 17th last year. You just cannot do it.
You've just mentioned, speaking of a higher caliber of competition, we've got to quickly turn to, before we leave. Nice segue. Well done, Gibbo. Now, for sake of balance, because we've sung the song, The Dad's Army, sung to Daniel Levy. So I would like to thank Daniel Levy for delivering us to a UEFA Super Cup final for the first time in our history. And we're all about balance on this show. Okay? We're all about balance. So here we are. We're up against PSG. Kick-off 5 a.m. Sydney time tomorrow morning. I'll be there on my couch, on the telly, not on the telly, watching the telly, to be clear. So we need predictions. How do we see this game is going? This is our preview bit, getting ourselves warmed up for the season, although we're mainly doing reviews.
Go on, Connor.
Come on, Connor.
I just can't see how we're going to score, to be honest. Given exactly what we just discussed, I just don't see where the creativity is coming from. I think the only
do you have this same persona on Sava? I bet you're all optimistic and happy with Sava.
I'm not. No, I mean Sava's called Mr. Negative, to be fair to him. So he's maybe when I'm with Jim from Also Spurs, I'm a bit more positive.
But Jim was on our show here, and he did cheer us all up, I have to say.
But no, seriously, I think PSG are brilliant as well. That's the other bit of context to that. I mean, they are fantastic.
They are good.
So my only hope is that, where they've been off, right, haven't they? Because they had the Club World Cup and they had to take the enforced UEFA break. They're not hopefully in the swing of things so much.
6 days they've been back. 6 days they've been back training.
They've been hanging out the Champs-Élysées eating croissants. So that's where they've been for 3 weeks.
Heartburn.
Mm.
I think if we 3-0 to them would be my prediction.
You're so negative, Connor. I'm going 3-1 to them. I think we'll bag a goal. Well, I'm hoping we'll bag a goal. I think they'll just get hold of the ball, won't they? Like I said, I don't think we've got those players to retain the ball. The ball bounces off Richarlison all over the place.
Yeah,
and I don't know if Solanke's fit. Are you going to start him when we've got Burnley Saturday? You want to get off to a good start at home. I think Richarlison will probably start, and I just think they'll have too much for us. I think they'll keep hold of the ball. They'll probably keep us at arm's length. We might nick a goal, but they'll probably probably one of those games when they fancy turning it on, they'll just have 4 or 5 really good moments in the game, 4, 5, 6 good moments in the game, and they'll just convert 3 of them, and we won't have enough to sort of get anywhere near them. We might have a bit of a rally towards the end, but yeah, it'll all be a little bit comfortable at the end of the game, I think, for PSG.
So, listen, predictions in the chat. What are your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen?
Very optimistic diehards.
Yeah, he's
they haven't had the money. They didn't have the money then, did they?
No, I suppose that's not his actual prediction. Sorry, I misread that. But
have you been on Spurs diehards, Connor? Yeah,
I'm on there tonight.
Are you?
I am on there at 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah,
they're coming to see how their new boy is going to perform.
He's on diehards tonight. Oh yeah, they're doing a pre-show check.
He's the working man. He's the hardest working. He's what the hardest working YouTuber, content provider.
Well,
our gang, Dave. He's the hardest working YouTube content provider in our gang. Me, you, and Leon. Even harder than you.
I know. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Connor, if for example, one of the many shows that you're on wins some kind of content of the year.
We'll be up there.
You'll be claiming credit for that, won't you?
I mean, absolutely.
Me and Gibbo can't even get on the podium for the supporters.
We can't even get a nomination.
We can't get. I mean, we had bloody Hotspur Hippie getting onto the thing with your mate Spurs Kings TV. I still haven't got over that, by the way.
He's not invited me on yet, actually. To be fair,
he does. No one goes on it. He's on his own.
No, I don't. I'm not sure he'd like. How negativity would he?
He's literally in his room. Anyway, moving on. So this is how I see us going tomorrow. We're going to get it's a question of, have they spent too much time on the Champs-Elysees, going to the Moulin Rouge and seeing some dancing girls? And so the fact of the matter is this: I think when they bother to turn it on during the game, they're going to spank us. I think we'll get beat. I think we'll get beat 3-1. And who's going to score our goal? I think it's going to be Johnson in his new role as a central striker.
Ole. A defender. I'm going for a defender from a corner.
Or what might happen is we get a corner at the end and Basuma arrives late at the far post and puts one away, and then he goes roaring away to the crowd and he does this gesture. He just looks at his watch to the fans. That's how it's going to happen. He's going to go like this. He's going to get run off to the bench.
Plane, Dave. How's he going to manage that?
He'll be late for the plane.
Late, won't he?
Private travel.
Yeah.
The plane will land. He will get a taxi from Charles de Gaulle, and he'll arrive late at the far post at the corner and score.
And because we're doing like a Dad's Army theme, because you did that, like who you kidding, Mr. Levy? Like he'll turn up late because he'll want to say to Thomas Frank, he'll want to put it up him, won't he? And they don't like it up him, do they, Dave?
They don't. You stupid boy.
Yeah. So look. Let's get on to the weekend. What's on at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium the weekend?
Is that?
Oh, it's
on
not.
A second.
That's not this weekend, is it?
No. Who's that girl in the green jacket? Do you know who that is?
She's an NFL player, Dave.
She's a
female
player.
NFL. She's an American female NFL player who plays for England.
There are female who play American football in America for England. Yeah. Modern day society. I'll get
it's 2025, Dave.
I'll get cancelled.
And on that note, Spurs diehards is in the background, Dave. He's in the back studio doing this to Connor.
No, it's not till 10. It's not till
He's
10.
Doing this.
Got time. Don't worry. You got time.
So I'll watch you as I'm going on the train to work. Is that what you'd like, Connor?
Love that.
Can I troll you?
You can troll me, yeah, for sure.
I've never been known to troll anyone.
I'll probably be going to bed when that's on, Connor, but I need to get to sleep. Dave, can you send me that episode you were on the Spurs show when I'm trying to get to sleep, please?
Would you like my? I did. There was a Spurs show where I did my top 10 Tottenham.
No, not that one. That one sounds quite good. Send me one where you were just a standard guest giving your opinion. I'm sure that will get me straight off.
Well, I was going to say, talking about YouTube wars, Dave, you were on Boy Hotspur, weren't you, the other day?
I was, yes.
Yeah, I watched that.
And your point is?
He kept that quiet.
I'm just saying, I'm not the only YouTube whore on this panel.
He kept that quiet.
I nearly, by the way, we have got to finish off, right? Because I want to have my breakfast. I nearly rang Talk Sport the other day.
Oh,
nearly.
You didn't fall off the wagon.
No, and I have a showbiz announcement for everyone. I'm not doing Fantasy Premier League this season. I've decided to have a year off.
Did you have to go and see your sponsor after you nearly phoned Talk Sport, Dave?
I nearly had to ring my sponsor and say I nearly fell off the wagon. But the good news is they've got rid of BBC Sounds for anyone outside of the UK, so it's very difficult. So I don't have to listen to 606 on the website now. So that's good news for my recovery.
And on that note, look, Dave's got to go for his breakfast. We've discussed the cup. We probably should have done Burnley, but we're not going to have time. Maybe me and Dave will knock something together, do we'll record something anyway and put it out there.
We're making the records together.
Yeah, okay. We'll make a record, Diamond Lights. But look, everybody in the chat, thanks. We've had some really good comments today. 36 people watching live. We really are made up with your support. It's fantastic. But Connor, go and enjoy yourself tonight on Spurs Diehards, mate. Thanks for coming on. Obviously, I'm sure you'll be excellent on there as you are on all your other programs. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, as always. And looking forward to next. See you next Tuesday, I suppose.
Yeah, you got it, mate. And I don't know why we've said that, because actually you are part of the team, aren't you? So me saying, like I was going to say, just as I was thinking about saying to Dave, thanks for coming on. we're the team, aren't we? It's our show. So
Yeah.
That was a bit of a dig you had at him. I hope you're as excellent on there as I'm sure you'll be as excellent on there. That was a little bit of a dig.
Oh, it wasn't a dig. It wasn't
Oh,
a dig at all. What I meant to say was I know he'll be good, as good as you know what I mean, Dave.
Do you want to give me back the shovel or the hole you're digging yourself into?
Have the shovel back, Dave, and get me out of it.
There you go. Are you going to
But,
thank me for you're not thanking me? You just
Oh, Dave, good night. Thanks for coming on.
This is why we'll get a load of awards, I reckon. It's an absolute pleasure. Gibbo and Connie been on top form tonight. And I mean that genuinely, top form.
Yeah.
And I got the
Thank you.
studio all sorted out with Grumpy and his Europa Cup medal there on the couch.
And we have to sort this ending out because last week I said, come on, you Spurs, hit end stream, and it went off quick. So everybody, let's see if we can get it right. As always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.